I've found the two most influential vehicles in autonomous history. It's the ones that started it all. We are talking about the first. This is the first time that people realized that a car could take them where they want to go autonomously. These two vehicles were superstars. They're one of the reasons why I love autonomous tech. In 2004, 2005, they were the most recognizable vehicles on the planet. And I found them, and I'm gonna show them to you now. So let's take a look and I'll tell you more about them. So, come in here with me and check these babies out. I can't believe it. These things were bigger than Britney Spears in 2004, 2005. They are Carnegie Mellon's and Red Team Robotics Sandstorm, which is the 1986 military Hummer. These were created for DARPA, the DARPA challenge in 2004.
Welcome to the DARPA Grand Challenge. The objective? Create a self-navigating autonomous vehicle that can safely drive 132 miles through a harsh desert environment without human intervention.
Well, in 2004, this was Carnegie Mellon's entry. It is a 1986 just regular military vehicle Hummer. And the reason, obviously, I think they chose that was because this was for the military. This was to show the military what you could do without a driver. And it had, I think, 4, 5, 6 LiDAR units. That's a steerable LiDAR unit on top. It had radar, and it had vision cameras, and it put it all together, computed it, and it did well. It did okay. It actually won the 2004 challenge, which I think was $1 million, but it only went 7 miles. So I think the state of autonomous driving was a little bit iffy back then. So DARPA did it again in 2005, the 2005 challenge. And in order to increase their odds, they kept Sandstorm and changed it and reconfigured it, but they bought a 1999 H1 Hummer and called it Highlander. And they outfitted it with the new things. This was the darling. This was, they were in the lead. They were expected to win. They had 2 options to do it. You can see the way they do it is there is a trial run. You have to go do some certain things. And obviously some of these dents and bumps, they go back, change things up. They were good enough to get into the race. Both of these got into the race. They were the front runners. They were gonna win. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. Speeding along. The 2005 challenge, it was Highlander went first, and then I think it was Stanley, which was Stanford's entry. It was a drive-by-wire Touareg. They decided to go the passenger route than the military route. And then I think it was Sandstorm. And the way they did it was they thought this guy was gonna just be the clear winner, and they programmed it to go pretty fast enough to kind of win. I think the average speed was 19 miles an hour over 131 miles in the desert. It was absolutely amazing. But with this one, Red Whitaker, the leader of Carnegie Robotics, was a military guy, so I think he was taking a kind of a scuba and parachute thought of 2 is 1 and 1 is none, so he entered twice. They programmed this guy, the older beast, to go a little bit slower, to navigate things a little bit better, and just kind of be the hare, and this is the tortoise. So if nothing would happen, all else fails, they'd still have this one coming in. Well, it turned out, I think at 101 miles, this thing blew a chip, and it kind of slowed down. It still finished the race, but it slowed down, and the Stanford's entry, passed it at like 101 miles into the race, and it kept going, and unfortunately ended up winning the race. But Sandstorm came in second, and then I think 11 minutes past that, Highlander made it too. So they all finished the race. And what that did for robotics in Pittsburgh, what that did for the city of Pittsburgh, you can see some of these sponsors here, a lot of them Pittsburgh companies, and Pittsburgh really rallied around this team and the robotics, and it became huge. Like, Carnegie Robotics is the reason why Uber ATG came to Pittsburgh, Aurora, Argo, there was a Volkswagen track. This project basically brought so much industry to Pittsburgh. We have, Red Zone Robotics, which is Red's company, has robots in the sewers. We have Gecko Robotics, robots climbing walls to measure and map things that couldn't be done by humans. We have logistic robots and warehouse robots that are being sold all over the world now. We have autonomous drone company here that's working on things. And we have all those car companies that want to use the brain power from Carnegie Mellon's robotics team to come here and really make a mark on the robotics world. This all started it, and it started Pittsburgh as the autonomous capital of easily of the United States, possibly of the world. So the work that people did to make these finish that race have spread throughout the world. Without these two cars, I don't think we would be where we are at this moment in time, being very close to actually picking up humans. And the one thing that I noticed is in 2005, if these cars autonomously could finish a 130-mile race in the desert, why aren't we at the place where we can just get in a car and go? Well, because getting anything 85% is quote unquote easy. It's the next 15 that's gonna make it take a long time. And I would say right now, as in those, I think we're at about 92, 93. We still have to put the finishing touches on making sure they're 100% safe. Obviously there was no one around, no other cars in the desert, and it was a pretty easy track. It's all the little things that are gonna take a little bit more time to get it perfect so that we do save lives. Cars don't get distracted by phones. They don't make bad decisions. They don't drink and drive. This technology is literally changing the world, and I am so excited to be in front of these. These cars not only changed automotive history, they changed robotics history, they changed Pittsburgh's history, and they're going to change history in the world. So I gotta tell you, this is a super exciting time for me. I love it. I appreciate the person letting me come out and film them and tell you guys about these two beautiful automobiles. I'm in heaven. I'm gonna spend some time with them right now. So if you like stuff like this, please like and subscribe, and I'll try to keep making it because I gotta tell you, I love this stuff. Thank you. Lucky dice. So